5 of the Lands of Alaire. I'm here with my friends Tori and Aaron of Joined by Gaming, my younger brother Tyler, and my older brother TJ. And we are going to be continuing the adventure after we talk about what we've been up to this week.
I have something I'd like to share. It's a little embarrassing, but I love My Hero Academia so much. Yeah, it's very good. I'm started binging it like earlier this week, like Tuesday, and I'm on 3rd season now. So
Wow.
very, very quickly, like
It's a good show.
yeah.
I've heard that it nails like everything you expect out of an anime. The whole, hero arc and everything. It like does it exactly as you'd expect, but really, really well.
Yeah, they say like the epitome of shonen, and
Yeah.
I can see that for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've had it recommended to me too many times, so I will watch it. Don't you worry, friendos out there.
I like it very much.
What about you, Tyler?
Well, I'm interested in reading the D&D comic. What is it called?
Rolled
Rolled and Told.
yeah.
Because I remember reading the was it the first one or like the preview
It was
of it?
like a half-issue free preview book. Yeah.
And that seemed pretty awesome.
It
So I'm
was
kind
awesome.
of excited to get my hands on.
Yeah, we
it.
finally got those issues in.
Yes.
It had come out like 3 weeks ago. They
Right.
missed the shipment of it, so we complained naturally, and they sent it finally, and yeah, everybody's like loving it.
Good old Diamond.
Yeah.
And what have you guys, Tori and Aaron?
We got a few different RPGs in this week.
Nice.
We got Kids on Bikes from you guys, which
Yeah.
I'm wicked excited about.
Yeah, and you grabbed the dice and the powered character expansions, so
Yeah.
that ought to really make the experience.
Definitely. We also got Cult Divinity Lost from Helmgast, which we're really excited about. There's some
Nice.
really, really dark role playing.
Ooh.
And my PDF for the Black Hack 2nd edition actually just came in the other day too.
Oh, you have
for-
a lot of RPGs
Yeah.
flowing
Yeah.
in, man.
We have a lot to
They all kind of
get
came at
into.
once.
Wow, that's pretty
Good
awesome.
stuff, though.
And for you, Tori?
Same.
Just enjoying those
Yeah,
RPGs.
no,
Yeah,
I'm
I
really
hear
excited
you.
to get into them. The art, especially in Cult Divinity Lost, looks gorgeous.
That's
so
awesome. I don't think I've
excited.
heard too much about that one, so I'll have to look into it. Who
Yeah.
publishes it, do you know?
Helmgast, and it's through Modiphius.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can go to modiphius.net and find a bunch of their
Yeah.
stuff too. And you guys can probably get stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
oh, yeah. Star Trek role-playing game,
Yeah.
a number of others, yeah.
I want to try that too. There's a lot of great role-playing games out there. And here we are.
Playing D&D! Most
We
basic
love it.
white kids.
It's a classic.
It is,
It
no.
is good.
And 5e's amazing.
Oh yeah.
As for my week, I painted an orc. One orc out of my new war band. But it takes a little while to learn how to get him down, and I'm pretty proud of him. He turned out really well. And my friends who play on Thursday nights adventuring in the Lands of Alaire got me this t-shirt, Beware the Smiling DM. So thank you so much to you adventurers, especially Nels of Pepper Whistle. So are you guys about ready to jump on in?
No.
To this?
As we all... yeah.
Let's
I
do it.
suppose so, man.
So for the recap, our adventurers last episode left Helmtop and made their way to the town of Loten. There they found out that the people are quite devoted to the god of agriculture and farming, Pelor. There's also a few other domains. He is in fact sometimes a warrior god, but light and agriculture are definitely his focuses. There you explored the town for a bit, went to some interesting locations like Sing Stalter's inventions and the Quran on Dune. Yes, and quite a bit happened with poor Sing Stalter there. That chunk of iron you turned to wood, it just turns back after an hour.
It's like after
right?
an hour, yeah.
Alright, sweet deal. So Sing Stalter's not too angry about that.
Right.
And you guys went about really determining the troubles of the town and continuously heard about this Brighton Bridge that was to be avoided on cloudy, dark nights, starless nights. Instead of avoiding it, you, Leander, met up with an old companion, Arena, who said that she intended to rid the negative energy of this area. You guys ventured out there, followed a echo of some ghost, a lady, the nobility of the town from a few years past, and found yourselves quickly surrounded by your undead assailants. And I think there's not too much talking to these guys, so if you want to throw initiative, let's jump right into it.
Alright.
Session off. Easy.
Woo! those rainbow dice that I used terribly in the Battle Royale?
Yep.
Good old 2.
Well, you beat my awesome dice that rolled great I rolled a 1. So
Oh, no.
very much, yeah.
Jeez. What about Leander?
Got a 17.
17.
Not bad for Leander.
No, that's pretty good. He's at the ready.
Usually it's kind of slow to act.
Melee?
21.
Wow.
Melee's pretty much always ready.
Yeah. Erlon?
9.
9. And then, actually, a few more there. Arena's got a 17. That's pretty sweet. She actually has a negative to her dex, so.
Me too. We got a lot in common.
Ooh, but the skeletal archers are throwing a 19.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, they did pretty well there.
Damn
Which
archers.
means first up is melee. Melee, these skeletal hands and the rib cages burst out of the ground, claw their way up towards you with this angry red glow in their eyes. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna find an archer that I have a decent
Shot at?
Yeah.
You would be shooting past them, but this one up the river. Can you see my ping?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
Far side.
right up
Okay.
that way. Looks like a good target. You could definitely shoot past those guys.
So 24.
Yes. Absolutely.
Let's set these aside. 7.
7 damage, which gets reduced to 4.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Piercing.
Skeletons are difficult to destroy with piercing damage, so
Okay.
it does wail right into the side of his head, and you see as he turns towards you with the arrow sticking out of his jaw. Which brings us to the skeletal archers, who move with a bit of creakiness to their bones. One is going to be throwing an 11 on Leander, so no. One's going to be throwing a 7 on Arena, no. One's going to be throwing a 19 on Erlon, yes. For a full 4 points of damage.
Cut me deep.
Yep. One is going to shoot at Gilroy with a 9.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh my god.
That's why I remember class.
Oh no! For 4 damage.
Man, it's like one
That's
of
my
those
health.
Right, it's one of those things where you'd be like, I rolled a 9. It's like, oh wait, no, that actually hits. You know?
So 4 damage to Gilroy and Erlon in that volley, which brings it to Leander. Leander, one of these things is rising out right in front of you with this tattered red and black uniform.
Yeah. I'm gonna cast Sacred Weapon
Okay.
for my action. And so I hold out my sword once again and call out, Torm guide my hand, and it emits a 40-foot glow around me. So
Yeah.
the whole place gets lit up.
Quite a burst of light.
And I think I end up adding, it becomes a magic weapon, and I add my charisma bonus to attacks.
Nice.
So I'll be-
Definitely good against undead.
Yeah.
All right, and that is your action?
That
to
is
do
my
that?
action,
Okay, so
yeah.
that brings it to the Arena. Arena has a flail, and she's quite proficient with it. And they're pretty good for smashing on dents. So she's going to run over to this one and throw an attack, which is going to hit. And it's going to be dealing a full 7 damage, which crushes this guy.
I'll say smashing undead is kind of cleric's thing.
Yeah, they're really good at it. Which brings us to Erlon.
Alright, so I'm actually going to charge over at the guy over there with the axe. Yeah.
Cool.
Smash his
You
face in.
rage?
Not yet.
Not yet, alright.
So yeah, I take my sword up and confidently slash down, try to get it through the ribs, and that is 19.
19 will definitely hit.
Alright. And that is 8 damage.
8 damage. Boom. Takes him on down. Yeah, you cut
Nice.
that thing. Completely vivisect it. Its 2 halves go falling lifeless to the ground. Which brings us to the Skellies. Who noticed that?
This is going to be a lot.
Yeah, this is going to be a ton of skeletons. So I'll move the ones in on Erlon first, which is 2 attacks. For a 9. And for a 13. Does 13 hit?
Does not.
Sweet deal. This one's going to run at Arena. For a natural 20.
Oh.
She's going to be taking 8 points of damage from that one. But she's pretty tough. She's out on the road. She's definitely gained a lot of experience, you can tell, Leander. Leander, you're going to be attacked by two of those guys. Which is a miss and a natural 20. So you are going to be taking 10 points of slashing damage from that one.
Dang. You really got me.
Yeah, you got in between the armor plates and managed to get a good hit in. Melee, these guys rush up towards you, 2 attacks on you.
Dang.
A miss, no doubt.
Am I within 5 feet of...
And a natural 20.
Oh, wow.
Am I within 5 feet of melee?
Okay, minimal damage though, so
Okay.
6 points of damage.
I don't think you are.
You're
No.
not quite adjacent to her.
Yeah, we're just a bit too far apart. Yeah, right, because the skeletons are attacking her from there.
These ones running on Gilroy. That guy's actually got a bow.
Oh.
3 attacks on Gilroy.
Oh my god.
15,
Yep.
a 8,
Nope.
and an 8.
Oh.
So you are going to be taking 4 points of slashing damage as this skeleton hits you with his rusty blade.
Silas distracted those two.
And you do see, in fact, that is not the end of them. A few more come running out of the woods.
Oh, good.
Who buried all these people here?
You note that the ones you're facing down here are wearing entirely different armor than the ones that Leander is facing, as if 2 sides of a battle had lost.
Okay.
And now they are not letting go of it. Which brings us to, from the Skellies to Gilroy.
Yeah.
Gilroy, you are surrounded.
Yeah. I think Gilroy says, you're playing right into my hands.
Wow.
And how many can I hit with like a burning hands? You think? I mean, I know it's 50-foot cone.
Step back. 1, 2, 3. Those
Like
three
those
in
3
front
that
of you.
attacked
Yeah,
me.
the 3 in
all
front
right,
of you.
I'll take that. So they make dex saves.
Okay. The skeletons are known to be great at these.
Yeah.
An 18, an 8,
Oh.
and a 2.
All right, so 2 are taking full damage.
One's taking half.
Yep. I just lost all my dice.
Oh, jeez.
So that's 10.
10. Only the one that managed to kind of dodge out of the way is still left alive. The other 2 are burnt down to a crisp. Their bones no longer animated, turned to ash in the wind.
It's
And-
cool. We're all like back to back.
Yeah.
Nice. There are still a few more coming at you, though, Gilroy.
So cool.
So cool. I totally have a chance. Melee.
Gilroy, you're taking on the most of them.
There's a lot of these guys now.
Yeah. I don't really have anything that doesn't do piercing damage, do I?
You have a short sword, which you could choose to do slashing, I believe. It's
Oh, yeah.
slightly better, in my opinion.
Okay. So, probably the one right in front of me.
Yeah. The one in blue. Okay.
Mm, 11.
11 will hit this guy, yeah. Some of these skeletons are hardly wearing armor.
Right.
Yep.
6.
6. Well, you cut into him anyway. It's one of those few moments you'll ever see Melee use a sword.
She's done pretty good with them before, though.
Yeah, no, she's more than proficient with them, and you can tell. So here's a shot at Leander, a miss. Here's a shot at Melee, a miss. Here's a shot at Arena, a hit. And here's a shot at Erlon, a miss. And here's a shot at Gilroy, a hit. Gilroy, you'll be taking 3 damage, and Arena will be taking 4.
Alright.
Which brings us to Leander.
Alright, I guess I'm gonna swing at one of these skeletons.
Oh yeah. And you have your sword glowing divinely.
Oh yeah. Pretty angry,
Yeah.
you know. That'll be plus 8, so 17?
Yes.
Yeah. And for 8, 10 damage.
It's dead, yeah. The moment your divinely charged weapon is struck down on this thing, it cuts clean through the bones, and you see the red in its eyes flash white, and then just the darkness you would expect from a skull as it falls to the ground in a clump. Which brings us to Arena, who is going to cast Turn Undead.
Yeah.
So I have to make 1 saving throw. Fail. 2. Succeed. 3. Fail. 4. Succeed. 5. Fail. 6. Succeed. And 7. Fail. So,
3 successes.
yeah, this one immediately starts running away. Leander, you can take advantage of that with an attack of opportunity.
Oh yeah.
This one immediately starts running away. Melee, you can take advantage of that with an attack of opportunity. And this one starts running away, and Arena will try and smash it.
Plus your short sword.
And she succeeds.
So,
Yep.
Yeah, she destroys this one that made it just barely across the bridge before the flail comes right into the back of its head and shatters it. Melee, how'd you do?
11?
11 will hit him. And Leander?
Definitely hit for 7 damage.
Okay, yeah. That guy is crushed. And how much damage from you, Melee?
Sounds like
4.
a Jeopardy.
Okay, that'll do it. That will do. Yeah, you watch as Arena brings up her holy symbol of Torm, a white gauntlet that she wears on her right hand. She lifts it in the air, carrying an amulet. It shines brightly in the rain and the dark night, and suddenly some of these skeletons just cannot stay near you and are compelled to just turn around and run, giving you an opportunity to cut them down quite a bit. And Arena goes, "By Torm's light, be gone!" And that brings us to Erlon.
Seeing them, more of them approach and everything, and looking around, he's pretty confident at how easily we've been taking them down.
Oh,
so he throws his head back and howls like a wolf as Fury comes over him and
Okay,
attacks the one next to him.
sure. The archer or the
I'll do the one with a... Is that a sword over
Yeah,
there?
it's a sword.
Yeah. So that is 13,
13 can hit, yeah.
and that is 11 damage.
Yep, that's a dead skeleton. Your howl is answered by the sound of crushed bones as another one falls to the ground. Which brings us from Erlon to
Skeleton.
Skellies. This one's going to disengage from you. So that's all you can do. These guys run up on Gilroy.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun. 3 attacks. A natural 1. A 2. And a 10.
Alright, 10 hits.
You are going to be taking 4 points of slashing damage from that one.
Alright, I'm good for like 2 more hits. And I got 4 dudes standing around me.
1 attack on Leander. Going to be a 16.
Nope.
No. Slashes right past you. And I believe that is all our... Oh, this guy moves up. Yeah, just get right up next to you, Melee. But that's as far as he can make it. And that brings us from Skellies to Gilroy. Gilroy, another 3. Just replace those ones that you burnt down.
And yeah, the one that ran away, the ones I burnt down. So I think Gilroy is gonna say, "Alright, Zorn, I hope your words were true." And he's gonna cast Scorching Ray on each of them.
So,
3.
2 beams for each of them, and 3 separate attacks, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly. 17.
Yes.
19.
Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, I think he hasn't cast this in the past, so I think he, falls back to his staff once again.
Sure,
That he's
absolutely.
used as that focus so many times, and little like an upgraded firebolt that you've seen him cast so many times.
Yeah.
Right. Rapid fire firebolt sort of looking thing. 4 damage to the first one.
Well, the first one being the one that you had hit before
Okay.
will kill him.
7
Okay?
on
That
the
kills him.
second, and 4.
There's 1 barely left standing. Half of his skull smoldering. Which brings us from Gilroy to top of the round with Melee. Melee, there are still 2 here. One of them you hit last time.
Yeah. Probably the same, yeah.
Give it a go.
Nice.
Ooh.
So, is a natural 20.
Alright, so yeah, you roll your d6, multiply that by 2, and then add your dexterity bonus.
So 7.
It's still enough, that'll do it. So you cut into this thing, and though not an attack with a lot of power, more than enough precision, as you just kind of wrench its head right off, and it's dead. Which brings us to the archers, who are still back there, still loosened, rotted, old arrows. They have a +1, but that's gonna be a 17 on Leander.
No.
Natural 20 on Leander. Now this die is good. 17 on Arena, and a 13 on Erlon, which misses, right?
Yep.
There's another one. I'm gonna have to shoot at Gilroy. With a natural 1, his bowstring snaps. And one is gonna shoot, there's another one that can shoot you, Erlon. With a 12, so no. So Arena is gonna be taking 6 points of damage, and Leander's gonna be taking 11.
Damn.
Take some heavy hits.
I think that what Leander's doing is probably, is able to block one of them completely, and then the other one just comes in from the side and is able to catch him every time.
Yeah, there's quite a few over there. It's a volley coming at you.
Oh, yeah.
And not only that, but these skeletons definitely retain their training through undead.
Yeah.
So, though their weapons and stuff are of the most terrible quality, they're actually shooting like a unit.
Yeah.
Which brings us to Leander. Leander, most of the undead around you have been completely vanquished.
Mm-hmm.
There's that one next to Melee,
And one next to me.
and one next to Gilroy.
I think real quick as my bonus action, I'm going to cast Divine Sense. Just, my eyes light up and I take a look around really quickly, trying to assess.
Definitely a bunch of pings on your radar about these undead, of course. But suddenly, a large one from the tower.
Ooh. Okay. So, alright, that has him a bit
In
bit
fact,
more concerned.
Like this big.
Oh! Okay. So, as I look around and I'm assessing the situation, I turn my back to the archer, which is when he hits me with that nat 20. And,
Yeah, you take one right to the back of the shoulder.
yeah. And, I suppose I call out, watch the tower! And I charge up next to, Gilroy.
Okay,
Try and take this one out.
sure. Yeah, you see Gilroy has... Though he has stood his ground and there is like 6 burnt ash skeletons in front of him, he's sustained quite a few cuts to his robes and whatnot, so...
Oh, nat 20!
The weirdest roll I've ever seen on those mats. It's literally like...
How many 20s is that so far tonight?
Like 6 20s already?
At least.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure he's dead no matter what.
Yeah, he's
so
got 3 HP left.
11 damage.
11. Yeah, definitely super kills that skelly.
I run up next to Gilroy and, stand back!
Leander! I'm not doing so good, friend.
I'll clear up some of these guys.
Something much worse is coming.
Great.
So that's the current scene. 2 skeletal archers, 4 behind you across the bridge, and something in the tower. Which takes us from Leander to Arena, who is going to cast Cure Wounds on... Actually, she can cast a Mass Cure Wounds on 6 of us, and there's only 5 of us. So she's going to be healing for... Everyone gets back 7 HP.
Nice.
Feeling better?
Oh, yeah. A bit more confident.
I like your girlfriend, Leander.
But that is her entire turn.
Not
Speechless.
That's her
no
entire
comment
turn.
right now.
As she lifts her gauntlet once again, and with another flash, she goes, "Torm, guide and protect us!" And there's a lot of calling out to Torm tonight. Brings us to Erlon.
Yeah, so I'm lost in my battle rage.
Definitely.
So I charge at the archer that tried to get away from me because he's not getting away.
Yeah, no, so much that you kind of made your way away from the group in the melee of that.
And I am going to do like a backhanded spinning slash,
Okay.
just because I feel overconfident, and that is 18,
18,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
It's always fun to cut down some skeletons.
and that's 12 damage.
Yeah, he's dead. Nicely done.
I howl again.
Nice. Which brings us to Gilroy.
No more skeletons to act?
There are the archer skeletons,
Right.
and I am adding another initiative.
Okay, let's see. So we got 4 across the way, but I haven't really, seen them. I mean, my back has been turned.
Yeah, you haven't really paid much attention to them. You
Yeah.
got this one in front of you down here, if you can
Yeah,
see him.
I think... Is that an archer?
Yes, it is. Yeah, he's been trying to ping at you, but there's been a lot of melee in front of you, so he hasn't had the best time with it.
Right.
Gonna risk it with a firebolt.
You might get him.
You might roll a 1.
I mean, I'm at a +5.
For
so-
damage?
No,
Oh, right,
not
because firebolt damage is just...
A D10.
Yeah, just a D10.
Which is why it's so
I think
risky.
Silas is gonna risk it with a firebolt.
Sure, yeah, Silas floats up behind you.
Right, we were kind of busy talking.
Yeah. Yeah, and he comes around the outside of me and focuses his eye beams into this smoking, swirling ball of fire, and he looses
Blasts
it.
for a...
Yeah, for 23.
Yes.
Hit.
For how much?
7.
Oh,
Silas,
nice!
yeah!
Just enough.
My
Blast that thing
man.
down. Yeah, you and Leander have a little chat in the middle of this. Silas is like, I'm not going to just let him die. Nicely done. Which takes us to the top of the round. And our skeletal champion bursts out of this door, runs up towards Erlon. Erlon, your confidence does not wane. For a barbarian who's enjoying himself, this looks like a good enemy to fight. But let's see how hard he hits you. He's going to be making 2 attacks.
Okay.
A 7, so no. And a 23, so yes. He's going to be doing... Oh, holy crap.
Good thing I'm raging.
16 damage from that one.
It's alright.
Listen, cuts him on down. Yeah, good thing you're raging. That'll definitely convince you to do so. Melee, you kind of witnessed this.
You guys still got one.
She does
dude on
have
there.
one skeleton on her.
Should probably try and get that
Taken care
that
of.
one last skeleton. Yeah.
Oh, still hit.
12.
12 hits.
7.
Hey.
7.
Magic number.
Yeah.
Reduced to 3. Or 4.
Oh.
Slashing damage. Which brings us to the Archer Skellies. Which is 4 attacks right now?
Yep.
Yes. So 1 against Arena. No. 1 against Melee. For a 14. Melee, you will be taking 6 points of damage from that one. 1 against Gilroy. For an 11. You're going to be taking 3 points of damage. And 1 at Erlon. With an 18. So Erlon's going to be taking 4 points of damage from that one.
So reduced to 2.
Yep. Oh, you actually were raging, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, it looked like a big chunk came
Yeah, I
out
was
of the
like,
health
oh, that looks
bar.
bigger
Boom,
than
there
I
we
wasn't
go.
sure if it was
Sorry,
the
I didn't
actual-
have the marker
No.
on. I thought we were making fun of you for a second.
No. I thought it was just like the image on the thing, but yeah.
Boom, there we go. Okay, so that's your actual HP, yeah.
Feeling a little more confident.
I knew something was up when
-3. Boom. That is where we were left. Which brings us from the archers to Arena, who charges up next to you, Erlon, and goes, I will support you, friend. And makes an attack. That's going to be a 16, which hits this guy.
Nice.
You're going to be dealing a full 5 points of damage, which is something at least. And after making that strike, she looks back towards you and goes, this is no doubt the source of the negative energy here. We must destroy it. And that takes us from Arena to Leander.
running up next to her.
Okay?
Or Yeah.
I'll
I
switch it, yeah.
I can hit the.
Oh, you definitely can. Yeah.
All right.
Here. No reason that couldn't have happened.
I push her out of the way. Oh yeah.
Move it, Arena.
And take a swing.
Okay.
9, 12. Hold on. Math. 21.
Yes.
So
Is your weapon still divinely charged?
it is for the next 6 rounds, I think.
Does only your charisma bonus deal the what type of damage is it? Not divine damage, radiant damage.
Yeah.
So your charisma bonus and radiant damage, or is it just add your charisma bonus?
Just add your charisma.
Okay.
So, but I'm gonna do divine smite. So, 1d8 for the longsword,
Yep.
2d8 for the divine smite, and you add 1 for it being against undead.
Okay. Nice.
So 48.
Wow. Probably one of the biggest hits we've ever had in this
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, so far.
8, 14, 21. Right. 8, 14, 21. Plus 3, 24 damage.
24 damage.
I'd say that's a smite.
It definitely is, and this thing, as the divine power just slices right through its armor and cuts off half its ribcage, which takes us from Leander to Erlon. Erlon, suddenly there is a warrior worth fighting here.
Yes, definitely. Am I in a flanking position, or if I'm not, can I move into one?
He is facing you, and not without kind of going into the river, disengaging in some
Oh,
way.
yeah,
You're a little
because
up
the
against
tower's
the
right
tower, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. So I'll just keep... I'm actually going to charge forth and put all my weight behind myself and recklessly attack him.
All right.
16. So, unnatural 20.
Yeah, that'll do.
Wah, wah. 7 damage.
7. That's still something. Definitely this one is, well, for one, you notice, it's not just one skeletal warrior like everything you face here. It seems as though that pile of bones you guys had looked through in the tower has coalesced into this skeletal champion that has like 3 tibias apiece and stuff.
Gross.
Yeah, yeah. Gilroy. Melee is in combat with this last skelly here, and then there are 4 across the way, and your friends are attempting to handle the champion back there.
Oh, we can't see those other ones across the way now, huh? Just because we don't have...
Oh yeah, the
dark
vision
vision,
has
yeah.
moved, yeah.
Okay, well, regardless, I think Gilroy is gonna spin to his right,
Okay.
casting magic missile at the one that Melee is fighting,
Okay.
and then continuing on to the ones those 2 across the bridge that I can see.
Sure. Absolutely.
So out of his staff, and they're all gonna hit.
Yes.
And it's separate rolls. How do we do this again?
I think it's just, for magic missile, it's 1 roll, and that's how many each bolt does.
4 damage.
4 damage, which kills this one.
And he says to Melee, "Let's get the guys across the bridge."
1, 4.
I can't take any more arrows. Really.
I was gonna say, we've been
That's
peppered.
Yeah. From right beside you, Melee, you witness as 3 of these little orbs appear and forcefully just poof, that one is mostly reduced to dust. Poof, poof, the ones across the way. Still standing, however, definitely wounded by that. Which brings us to the top of the order with the skeletal champion, who's going to make a monstrous cleave attack. Roll 1 attack, and it will be against everyone's AC next to him. He got a 16 on that, so that hits Arena and Erlon, but not Leander. And he's going to be doing
Isn't he like a disadvantage or something?
10 damage.
Not for
I don't know if
attack
it works
like
for
that.
cleave.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh, and Arena had a full 10 HP left.
How much damage was that? I'm sorry.
It would be 10 but 5 for you,
Gotcha.
which knocks Arena unconscious. I'll put a stop clock on her. Her time is up! Which brings us to Melee.
gonna fire at the ones across the way.
Here, I'll give you a little
Yeah.
additional light
Yeah.
so that you can see them all. No pointing.
Probably the one that's right on the bridge.
Okay.
Should I... Or should I
You
just
see him
try-
now?
You're fine. You have a longbow, so you can definitely
Yeah.
hit him fine from here.
And I think
Oh,
No, I don't.
natural one.
Ooh, yeah, I'm afraid that one's an automatic miss. That one goes flying out in a weird direction and hits the cart next to the river.
Melee's not doing great. It's a skeleton.
Right, well, I mean-
like bandits or something.
I was gonna say
Much
you
better.
guys have never fought undead before, so like kind of
It's
probably
definitely different.
it's probably a jarring experience
Yeah.
to be fighting skeletons rather than
And your piercing stuff isn't as effective
right.
compared to the rest of our stuff, so it's like
No, I miss bandits.
Yeah.
You are. Ooh. Oof! Melee, you will be getting hit with one arrow. Gilroy, you got wicked lucky again. And Leander, a natural 20.
oh my jeez.
Leander's back. When Leander's back is turned, he just gets
So
his
Melee will be
spine is
taking
getting shattered.
4
by-
points of damage from that one. And Leander will be taking 10 points of damage from that one.
Man.
He's got some good sustain, but
Is it that good? Oh, Arena has to make her first death saving throw, but she just kind of attempts to clutch to herself. She succeeds, so that's one success on her. Which brings us from Arena to Leander.
I'm gonna use one of those kind of quickly, not wanting to take all of my attention off of,
Oh, definitely
Off
not.
of the
This
champion.
enemy is, yeah.
but
not
I'm gonna
to
use
be
my bonus
ignored.
action to use one of those rubies on the shield to give a D4 health back to
Okay,
Arena.
and you're gonna make a strike beforehand?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just the bonus action before for 1 health.
1 health, but it is enough as she bats her eyes and kind of refocuses. It comes into her face, and she is capable of standing back up at least.
And then I take another swing at the skeletal champion there
No, definitely.
for 6, 7, 8, 14.
14 is his AC.
So for another
Much more armor, but it's still rotting.
another divine smite. So
Wow, alright. Yeah, you're really bringing it down on him now.
oh, that's a really good roll. 12, 20, 22, 25.
25 damage.
Damn.
This is
Wow.
where paladins shine. Leander, his sword is glowing, and his eyes are. There's a light coming from them as he, is able to sense what direction the undead are coming
Definitely.
from.
His armor is shining, his weapon shining.
Eyes.
This is what you trained for with
Yeah.
the Silver Keepers, was to be rid the land of threats such as these, negative energy that coalesces in these types of spots. And indeed, your training is pulling through, though this is a desperate fight.
Oh yeah, we're
Erlon,
cutting it close.
Yeah.
Well, after seeing Leander be able to handle himself a little more, his plans are going to change, and he's just going to recklessly attack again. So he's going to put all his weight
alright,
and just really try to smash him right in the face.
sure.
And that is a 22.
Yes.
Good catch.
Nice, wow.
In real life, I'm very dexterous. 13 damage.
13, that almost takes him down. He has very little HP left. And yeah, you cut on into him. He's definitely stumbling back from the force of those 2 last attacks, which brings us from Erlon to Gilroy.
Okay, Gilroy is going to reach to his side, like his left hip, pull out the dagger that he has imbued with magic missile.
Yeah, you put a level 1 magic missile in there.
Yep, and I think he more just like thrusts it sort of upwards, and these things come spitting out the
Yeah,
sides
they know what
of
to
it.
do.
Yeah, and just sort of home in on definitely the 2 that are injured.
Okay.
Is there a 3rd injured?
There is, yes. There's, do you guys see the ones on the banks now?
Yeah. So the far one,
Yeah,
the
the
one
far
on the
one-
bridge,
And then
and the
one
close
down.
one.
Yeah.
So yeah, 1, 3, and 4, but not 2.
Right. For 3 damage.
3 kills them all, yep. Precise use of force.
Yeah.
Yeah, you watch as the magic missiles once again streak across the river, which is a bit swelled from the raining tonight. It's not exactly like, whitewater rapids, but it's definitely flowing more quickly than normal. And they all fall to the ground in a pile of bones. Which takes us from Gilroy to the champion, who is going to attempt to knock down Leander. With a very vicious look in his eyes, he raises this halberd he's been swinging and is about to just bring it down on your shoulder. With a 24.
Yep.
Does he have disadvantage? Or was that a disadvantage?
Arena could impose disadvantage if she wasn't so badly injured.
Yeah.
And Leander can impose disadvantage when the target isn't him.
And I have my spirit.
Oh, you
Which
do have your
anything
spirit
that's
when you're
not
raging,
attacking
so I will
me,
attack
yeah.
again, yep. Yeah, 24. Roll 2 18s in a row. Yeah.
I tried, Battle Brother, I tried.
So Leander's going to be taking 15 points of damage from that one.
Now, so as he brings this halberd down on him, it probably hits him right in the shoulder, but that half-orc strength and vitality keeps him up just barely, sticking at 1 health for that half-orc. I forget what the exact, but once per long rest, stay unincapacitated.
Yeah, the first time you're incapacitated, instead you go to 1 health, and so this halberd cuts right into your shoulder, but instead of dying, a little bit of the barbarian rage that Erlon is so used to focusing comes through you, and you just pick it up and lift it from its position lodged in you, which takes us...
Thanos it.
Yeah,
exactly.
I just look at you, I'm like...
Yeah, definitely as a barbarian yourself and someone who knows the culture of orcs and stuff, this is an example of their tenacity.
Yeah.
This is 100% like a prime example. Which takes us to melee.
Do I have a clear shot at that last skeleton
Yes, you
across
do.
the river?
Yeah.
You guys are over here.
You guys-
That's good, though. It keeps them away
If
from
those
us.
archers were shooting at you,
Oh, yes.
you'd be dead.
Those archers have done like 30 damage to
Yeah,
Leander.
they were the most dangerous thing in this encounter, it feels.
Know what I'm about.
So 19.
19 will hit.
Me and Arena sitting at 1 health.
6.
For 6. Really 3. So yeah, another example of an arrow lodging right into their structure, sticking out, but it doesn't cause them to fall dead. And he's gonna try and shoot back at you. With a terrible miss. Which brings us to Arena, who is going to attempt to take this thing down. With the last of her strength, she picks herself up off the muddy ground, takes her flail, whips it around behind her, and attempts to strike it with a very divine-looking strike. A 19 and a natural 20 on that advantage.
Wow. So many
Oh
times.
my god!
This is making up for yesterday, really.
Yeah.
For real. That's gonna be 21 damage out of that hit. She absolutely smashes its skull right in, the flail having the perfect angle on it, and the rest of its body just crumbles into the pile of bones you had checked out before. Definitely super dead. She's breathing hard, though. You have a feeling she's got a few spells left, but she's still catching her breath from that melee she was in. Or melee. Melee. Which brings us to Leander. Leander, there's 1 skelly left over there.
And what do I do with that?
You could heal up.
No, I'm gonna run. Like he's just so kind of in the moment right now
Definitely.
that he runs up and he's tossing a javelin straight at the
Sure, go for it.
for 22.
22 will do.
And he's gonna divine smite it.
A divinely glowing javelin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's probably
Love it.
he's had it since the beginning. So
Yeah.
19 damage.
Oh yeah, all that's left is the javelin.
Yeah.
Sticking in the muddy riverside. The skeleton is gone.
And with that, he probably trips under his own feet and lands on his hands there.
Yeah. Right alongside the riverside, and you see, Erlon, do you go out of your rage and stuff?
Yeah, I'll say I take like a big deep breath and just, and it's like all the moisture from the sweat just kind of,
Definitely.
as my body relaxes.
You see your friends over by the bridge seemingly having survived the battle quite well. Definitely were giving you an advantage in picking off those archers, but not nearly the struggle that you had to put up with there. Arena is just kind of slinking her way over along the river's edge. And Leander, as you're laying there coalescing before you, is once again the spirit of this woman that you had seen before. Give me just a moment to have my notes. Lady Starin. And she goes, I thank you. You've done well for our people here. You must beware of the corruption in the Temple of Pelor. Seek out those who have done this to my men, and avenge the rest of us. As for your reward, my husband gave me a very beautiful amulet. It's hidden deep in the mud of this river, but she kind of wades through the water. Though the water doesn't ripple, you can see her making the movements of going into water.
Right.
And she comes back out, with this very muddy, grimy amulet, and drops it in front of you in the riverbed, and with that, drifts off in the wind.
I think Leander, grabs the amulet and rolls over onto his back, just having the amulet in his hand.
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay then.
I go over and I, slap you on the chest. You did great! That was amazing! I've never seen anybody fight like that.
I think I've been fighting next to you for too long, Erlon.
Well, Leander, you're going to be getting back 10 HP from a Cure Wounds.
Yep, and I'll give Arena 15.
Yeah, Arena is just going about healing everyone up with what she has left.
How much did I get back?
You got 10. But until everyone is in shape for walking, pretty much,
Right.
That's the extent of her power she'll use.
Yeah.
But as she picks you up with this heal, and it's like a funny thing, she transfers a cure wounds over to you, and as she's picking you up, your hand glows,
Right.
and she definitely gets healed as well.
Yeah.
So you can see, the partnership between these two is definitely very developed. And she goes, well done, Leander. That was quite the battle. She looks up towards all of you. Very well done. I'm very impressed. Torm will not forget this.
It was a bit closer than I had hoped.
Oh, I didn't think there would be that many skeletons. And she reaches down and grabs the hands of a few of them, and just as scanning the environment, and indeed it appears some of these were loyalists, and some of these must have been members of the Midnight Court.
Seems they're more dangerous than we originally thought.
Indeed, they're very opportunistic. If they see a chance to forward their means, they will take it, no matter what that means for them. Now then, there is a reward for this task, and I believe it'll be given to us at the temple, so time to make our way back to town, friends.
Before we go, is the halberd, does that look usable? Because that would be fun to swing around.
It looks like it needs some work, but it's definitely a fine piece of equipment.
Do I think Gilroy would be able to help me out with that?
With a mend?
Mm-hmm.
You have mend ready. Is it a cantrip now?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Let's see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it'll get the rust off of it and stuff. It's a masterwork halberd.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to take that.
Nice.
Is there anything else on the body that...
Doesn't seem so. The armor he was wearing was definitely of a higher quality than the prior skeletons you had fought, but it has been just soaking in the rain.
Right.
So
Gotcha.
even with a mend, it would not become the quality that you're looking for.
Gotcha.
The rest of them don't appear to have much gold on them or anything along those lines. Just a quick glance about the battlefield looks relatively empty, especially in that many of them were just reduced to dust.
Right, yeah. No, tons of them were just either burned or smited.
Smitten.
Smitten.
And it is late in the evening as you guys begin to make your way back to the town of Loten. Dun. There we go.
Nice.
So she told us not to trust the people inside the Temple of Pelor, right?
She did. She said that some of them were in cahoots.
I told you guys. Temples. You give me the heebie-jeebies.
Never trust somebody who worships nature in a stone building.
EST.
Arena, stay silent at that, though you see that statement causes her to contemplate for a moment.
No, yeah,
And that
exactly.
might have a point, yeah.
Literally same thing as Leander. He's like, well, that kind of
Makes sense to me, yeah. Though that's exactly where she leads you, is the Temple of Pelor. And you see that now at night, it's pretty empty. The space is very quiet. All that's left is this... There you go. This one halfling, dressed in the traditional green robes. He has quite a few of those golden, not embroideries, just inlays in his cloak. And though not as many as Laren Green, the head priest. And he's the only person here seemingly stoking some braziers to keep them lit through the night. He doesn't seem to notice your approach.
I think I'll let Arena take lead on this one.
Sure. Yeah, you guys march right on up. Arena heads on up to the halfling and goes, the Brighton Bridge is safe now. We have rid it of the negative presence there. And the halfling looks up and he goes, oh, well, I hope it went well for you.
It was a grand battle.
That's one way of putting it, yes.
Went about as well as could be expected.
Here, I'll get your reward. And he runs off behind the altar for a moment and comes back out with a decent-sized coffer, which he presents to you, opening it up, and he goes, from the temple, 1,600 gold for you.
You didn't tell me it was that much, Arena.
Well, it's, I thought that maybe it would be a nice surprise at the end of this.
Erlon will just trust whatever's given to him because Erlon can't math.
It looks like a lot of gold.
But seriously, how much is it? Per person.
I guess Arena.
She's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 400
Yeah,
each.
2,000 gold, but
Yeah,
1,600 for you
For
guys. Yeah.
the party.
The halfling also, as he looks up at you,
400.
dividing the gold and handing out your reward, goes, "Oh, you look like you need some healing." And as he hands it over, he casts a Cure Wounds on each of you, which he's actually quite proficient. So I'll just max you out. There's no reason why.
Yeah. Gilroy's the only one with a.
With a what?
Well, no, like all of our.
There's a significant amount missing.
Yeah.
I give you guys a side eye.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're accepting. Like in his mind, he's like, you're accepting help from people that they just warned us about. I don't understand.
The halfling definitely understands your apprehension. The robes that he's wearing and the life that he's living, it's not what you would expect out of a halfling, for sure. Though he seems to be the person that they keep here at night. His life is to wake up and maintain the temple at night. Definitely not a hugely high-ranking member of the church, but more than proficient enough with the healing side of things. And he shakes your hand, Erlon, as he's handing over the gold. He goes, "The name's Rodrin. I'm glad you folks are in town. It's good to have some adventurers through."
Nice to meet you. I'm Erlon.
Erlon. Very nice. And what have you folk?
Gilroy here. Anything of note happening in town?
Oh, there's always something these days. Since the River Wars, there's been quite a few eyes on Loten. The East Hill Iron Mine and the fields. It's a good source of income, and so it's no surprise that some unsavory types have decided that it's more than worth setting up some investments in the area. Sadly, in my opinion, the temple is not doing enough to stop it. Head Priest Laren, he believes he's in the right, and he is very devoted. There's no questioning that. He's made many good decisions for our people, but he seems to have turned a blind eye in that if it's Pelor's will, then that is the way it shall go. Personally, I trust him, but I don't know what to believe right now.
What of the Midnight Corps in the town?
Oh, I think I heard Sibelius just made it into town. He should be around. Otherwise, it's him and his employees, which are really just his goons for getting bargains and discounts and buying up property that was lost in the River Wars and making his gold that way. Of course, no one's actually ever seen him do anything particularly blasphemous. He does prefer to go by the legal route, but, well, I try to keep my eye on him for sure.
I see.
And he's the one that owns the mine?
He does now. He has many investments throughout Sarangar as of the past few years, and he bought up the mine after the Sarans disappeared.
And now he shacks up in the inn across the way.
The Quran on Dune? Yes, that's a home for a great many unsavory people, it seems.
Well, it's also our home for now.
And travelers, of course.
Well, it's been a long day. Let's say we head back to the tavern.
I'd very much like that.
I could use a drink.
You can find me in the evenings here if you'd like, or Darak, he's usually out in the fields. Did you meet him?
Yeah,
I believe we did.
came across him.
Yeah.
He's a trustworthy folk as well. Well, have a good night, folks. And with that, he goes back to stoking the braziers, which takes us over to the Quran on Dune. And as you guys enter the Quran on Dune, quite a scene before you. A large, fat half-orc with pale skin dressed in, what is it? Not quite purple. Fuchsia robes. He also has a great many amulets and gold rings. Though he looks, for a half-orc, much more on the human side of the spectrum. He has 3 goons that are cornering a gnome that you recognize as Singstalter. One of the goons in the front pushes up next to him and goes, "You better have more of those beetles for us. And for cheap." And Singstalter goes, "I don't want any trouble, folks. Please, just let me on my way." You also see Olerin Grey is at the bar. Minus Zorn and Bilberry. And he is definitely now leaning into this. Selly and Bovin, the bartender, is turned in the opposite direction.
Purposefully?
Yes. And many of the other patrons here, and there's not too many in the common room this late in the evening, are just, turning a blind eye to it, looking towards the hearth and stuff.
Where did Arena stay at the temple, or?
Oh, Arena tells you as you guys make your way here. She goes, "I'm going to find a safe place for myself to rest up. I'm afraid I have a little bit of a name in town now. And I'll gather resources and do some digging. I'll see if I can find out who in the temple is corrupt. And, well, we'll rejoin each other soon."
Be careful, Arena.
And she places a hand on your shoulder and goes, "You too, Leander. Don't get into too much trouble while I'm gone."
And now we're in this situation.
Yes, and now immediately, when you step through the door, trouble meets you.
Can I shoot an arrow into the ground between the 3 guys? And
Yeah, no, you definitely
that-
could. Yeah, no, the
Okay.
one in the middle, I'm not going to make you roll on it or anything, but the one in the middle jumps back and turns towards you. Goes, "Oh, what do you think you're doing?"
Hi. What you guys doing?
And Sevelius looks over.
Yep.
And he's got jowls the whole 9 yards. What was that? "Ah! I think these are the folks I was waiting on."
And I probably should have checked with you guys before. I did
Jumping
that,
into
but-
action. No, it's okay.
No, I just look, I nod at you like, yeah,
Yeah.
bullies suck.
"You know this gnome?"
Quite well.
"Really?
He's a great guy.
Convince him to give me a discount. I do quite like the beetles he makes."
Yes, well, you see, he's been quite tied up making things for me, unfortunately.
Ah,
So, I understand you might, need to crack the whip every once in a while, but I promise you, as soon as he's done, with the large sum of money I gave him, and the work I hired him to do, he could probably be able to help you out.
turns over towards his men, gives them a nod, and they all kind of stand down. Sing Salter, who was up against the wall sweating, finally gives a sigh of relief, relaxes for a little, dodges underneath this table, and makes his way out of the tavern, giving Erlon and Melee a little pat and go, "Thank you!" Just runs on past you. Whoa, anything from you, Melee?
Why did you say you were waiting for us?
Oh, well, I do believe you have something for me. So the intel says. And as for large sums, Gilroy, we have a lot to talk about. Join me. And he guides you guys back to this back room over here and has his men sit out in the front door, just watching the hallway. You guys going to follow him?
Yeah.
Yeah, Leander is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gilroy too.
I give him the eye as we walk in.
Is Olerin just watching us?
Olerin, you saw he had his hand on his longsword, the hilt of it. He was ready to fight that. When he sees you guys resolve it, he just gives you a nod and goes back to drinking. And a little bit of a suspicious eye as you pass by following, but he doesn't really question you guys. Yeah, those guys make their way out. They're just guarding the doorway, making sure absolutely no one gets into this back room that Sibelius leads you into. And you can see, indeed, there are 4 chairs set up for you guys.
Can I stand actually next to the doorway?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same way that they are?
Definitely.
Just to-
And, not taking a seat or long.
I prefer to stand.
Fair enough. Yeah. As for the rest of you, what do you got?
So we gather he's talking about
The amulet.
the amulet
Yeah.
from Bilberry. Who has it?
I do.
Are we pretending we don't know anything about it?
It's not magical, right?
Well, he
It's
needs
just
to be
an
straight up
It
with
is
us.
not magical.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it proves ownership of something in the south.
Oh,
something
that's right.
large.
It's like mysterious.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
You're gonna have to specify for us.
The amulet. You know what I'm talking about, friend.
But he's not asking for Bilberry, just
No, just the amulet.
so.
Well, I suppose I unclip my shield at this point, set it on the table, and I reach down into one of my pouches and I put it on the table, pat on it.
Sure. Reaches over, grabs it, puts it into a big meaty hand, just shakes it out of the pouch, and gives it a look in the light, the torchlight and candlelight of this room. Yes. Very well done, friends. Very well done. And with that, another large coffer of gold that he slides over towards you. And there's 1,000 gold in there.
Well, before we divvy that up,
You're just ready to take
So-
the money and go.
tell me, Sibelius. That is his
I'm
name,
not-
right?
Yes.
So.
What's the amulet for?
More investments from the Midnight Court. Important ones, but not my own. Orders from the top, you see.
Oh, yes, the top.
The Manticore. Sure you've heard of him. As far as he's concerned, I'm nothing more than an accountant, but I've done a lot of good work for him. And so have you now. I appreciate it. Perhaps we could continue the relationship. I do have quite a business proposition for you.
I was clearly not interested.
Neither is Leander,
Yeah.
but
I haven't
he
moved.
wants
I'm
to.
like my elf stillness. Just...
Like, all he thought he was doing was, kind of not clearing Bilber's name, but returning what he stole. So at least he's not going to be executed on sight or anything.
Expecting a reward or anything.
Right, he was just expecting to just, turn it in and nobody dies, sort of thing. So he's probably not even looking at the coffer right now, but he's still looking at Sibelius, just, what would you plan on having us do?
Oh, the classic adventurer's work, of course. We'll be diving into my mine, clearing it of horrid creatures that have taken up space there. And if it means anything to you, Leander, you'll be helping the town. The giant spiders in there have been picking away at the nearby roads. It'll keep the people safer. In that, we have the same priorities.
I mean,
Good choice, Gilroy. See, I knew you were a man who could tell where the important decisions lie. And let me tell you, with this, Nelfarans will gain quite a bit of funding. Leander, imagine a new order of Silver Keepers, a new temple. I'll supply it. Aaron, or Erlong, my bad.
It's okay.
Your people, oppressed by the Farinwellians. Imagine if they were equipped with the greatest weapons Karin Morn could provide. Dwarvish steel to fight your battles with. And you, Melee.
There's nothing you could give me.
Oh, you'd be surprised. He leans back. Now then, how does that sound?
Me or my people do not accept blood money.
I'm not gonna let Gilroy do something alone, though.
If it entices you, I could easily do 5,000 gold personally. And an additional donation to your choosing.
What if you kind of laid off the inventor?
This is a request from you, Melee? It'll be done.
Okay. I don't know.
You see, I'm very reasonable. I am, truly. Sometimes our aspirations may conflict, but all in all, I think we want the same things. A stable, prosperous Sarngar.
of course.
Well, for the better meaning of you, lots of gold. That as well. Just so happens I need the mine very soon. I've got a workforce built up. They'll be coming in from the capital of River's End soon. Problem being, lots of orders coming in. Thaladin's Forge will be making arms and armor for weeks.
What is it you mine in there, Sibelius?
Iron. And of course, I'm sure you've seen some subterranean mysteries around Alaire. When you come across them, don't speak of them.
Lips are sealed.
Then you know exactly what you're doing for me. Indeed, I need the mine for the gold. But there are other things there. Dangerous things. I do hope you all make it out.
I suppose this job I can take. Don't count on me for anything else.
You will commit no evil through this.
I've heard that before.
Well then, till next time, friends. That scoots his chair, stands on up. We're leaving, he goes. And with a doof, 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 he comes up across you, Erlon. Excuse me.
I make him walk around me. If he can fit.
Yeah, he pushes your chair way in, Melee, as he's making his way. No manners. Scoots out the door. Come now! And him and his entourage of goons leave the tavern.
Well, that wasn't great.
I shut the door behind me.
But the money's good.
We have so many more pressing matters than to kill some worthless spiders. We have to worry. The entire river is going to be poisoned. We can't keep doing every job for every town.
There's people looking at that sort of thing.
If we don't take care of this, thousands will die. I think these priests can handle spiders. I won't let you go to your death. but you will owe me a favor.
I
We talked about this.
I agree with Erlon.
was like, I kind of put my hand on your arm, like, chill a little bit, like it's Gilroy. He doesn't know any better.
Did you have something, Leander?
I'm sorry.
Just... I don't know if... I agree with you, Erlon. Our first and primary objective should be keeping the whole river safe, preventing those orcs, or whatever they may be, from destroying this entire valley. But right now we're at a dead end.
You do know Giantel's looking into it.
True.
She's an incredible scout, and she's very tireless,
Yeah.
but she has not reported back yet.
We haven't... We're kind of at a standstill for our leads right now.
Unfortunately, the samples I took show no sign yet.
I'll give the town a little bit more peace. Stop harassing the people.
I doubt it will take long.
If we must. And I look to you, Melee, and I'm like, it was a good thing you did, getting them off his back. Sink Salter didn't deserve those brutes shoving into his business. And then Erlon just walks out the door to the bar. He's not gonna let you guys die, but he's
Not happy with
yeah.
that.
You see Oler in there. He's drinking some ale. You sit alongside him, or just walk on past?
I'll sit alongside him.
All right. Olerin will look up at you from his drink and goes, "What was that all about?"
Just another man who needs jobs doing. Ale, please.
Salian looks at you. On it. Yeah. Pours you a fresh cold one. Those of you who remained in the meeting room, anything more to say?
I feel like, there's opportunity here. I am not, just because I'm in doesn't mean I'm in love with the idea of getting into bed with the Midnight Court, but clearly they have vested interest in this area and the coffers to back it up. So I think entertaining this for now until we know more, I think seemed logical. That's where I'm coming from.
Very quick to accept. I get it. Just very quick without asking for anything else or to see really how it would affect.
I suppose that's true. I knew. I wanted to see more. I want to know what these people are capable of, and if that means...
Maybe you'll find some stuff to research while you're down there.
I'm certainly hoping so, yes. In the meantime, I think I will take my leave for the night. I'm quite tired. I hope you guys have a good night.
Open the door and make your way out into the hallway.
Yeah.
You guys already had beds here.
Yeah.
You just go straight to your room?
Yeah.
Okay. This one right on down here. Boom.
I go into the room and I shut the door. And I reach into my pack and I pull out the immovable rod and I set it sort of crossways across the door.
Across the door to block it?
Yeah.
Alright.
And lock it if there's a lock.
You do know in your pack is a message of sorts. A note.
Okay. Clearly that would...
You open up the envelope. It is marked with a... it's an envelope marked with a sigil that says NZ on it. Otherwise, runes of alchemy that you were familiar with.
Right. Okay. Yeah. The contents?
Ripping it open, it is a magical note that begins to read itself aloud to you.
Very glad I locked the door.
Yes.
With an immovable rod then. Okay.
Is someone else in there with you?
Gilroy! This is Nanagus Zane. I trust you were not stupid enough to open this in public. Now then, my works are at a head. I've made quite a bit of movement on the portal. It flickers between the ooze plane and the material. I'm nearly there, though I am missing a very important page of notes. I thought I would have found it. I could have sworn I had all the equations down. But a very important one has slipped my grasp. If you know anything of it, send message to me. Or if you remember the equations on interplanar transportation of static objects. Till next time, Gilroy. And then the message just kind of bursts into purple powder.
I'll give that some thought. Sure. I mean, clearly I have the notes, thanks to Meili's quick thinking. How to, route them is different, though.
Definitely. To you guys, that is a muffled... It might slightly remind you of Nanagus Zane's voice. Olerin looks at Erlon as you're sharing a drink. He goes, any news on the whole rest of the orc thing we got going on?
Not as I've heard yet. Jantel is still out among the wind, and hopefully we hear from her soon.
I hope so as well. She can be trusted. She'll make her way back. But I feel like the time is coming soon. Vilberg and Zorn, they're hiding out fairly well. The basement of that boathouse. But, well, they're getting a little restless. Wouldn't be surprised if they want to move on at some point coming up. I think they're arranging a boat to come this way.
Well, we have a job that apparently we're taking on, so maybe it'll go by quicker if they can help us. Let them be a little less antsy.
Well, no matter what happens, we'll stay in contact.
Agreed, sir.
And then cutting back over to Leander and Meili. You're the only two left in the meeting room if you have anything to say to each other.
I think I'm just gonna head back to my room.
Sure.
Yeah. As I say, I was planning on getting drinks, Meili, but I'm not feeling so well. And he goes back to his room.
Okay.
I suppose inside my room, I'll wash off that amulet.
Sure.
See?
It has a very fine silver chain and a medium-sized sapphire that shines very brightly once it's been washed off. And after staying with it for a bit throughout the night, if you intend for this to be what you do, it is an amulet of protection +1.
Whoa.
+1 to AC, +1 to all saving throws.
Damn.
Does it belong to you?
I was gonna say.
is the question.
No. No, but once he realizes what that is, let's say, if he wakes up in the middle of the night or something, just go to the bathroom or what have you, he goes over to Gilroy's door and gives it a few knocks.
Okay. Erlon, you just at the bar drinking away the night for right now?
Just for now. I definitely plan to head to bed after a couple of drinks, but I'm not gonna get drunk.
Yeah. We'll just do this scene here and cut to that. You knock. The door is very sturdy.
Gilroy rises from his bed, slips on his robes, and
there's a button on the immovable rod you hit.
Yeah, of course he's gonna, before he does that, call out.
Sure.
Who's there?
It's Leander.
Alright. Push that button.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes him like a good 30 seconds to unlock the door.
Sorry, I'm not so good with these things. We didn't have doors at school.
What, were you gonna beat me with that stick?
No, goodness. Just extra means of security.
I gotcha. I was just up for the night for a minute. I figured you might want to take a look at this.
Take it. Weigh it in my hand.
You definitely know it's magical, but you do not know the properties because you haven't hung with it for a few hours like Leander has.
This is the amulet from the river.
Yes, yeah.
And you're giving it to me?
Well, I figured it'd be useful in your hands.
Alright. I'll take your word for it. Thank you. Would you like some money for it?
That's quite all right, Gilroy. I'll see you in the morning.
Okay. Good night, Leander. Thank you.
And, Leander, you make your way on down to the latrine.
Okay.
And Gilroy, same motions with your door. And now, you...
Right,
probably
from the latrine, I hear a very lengthy door locking process.
What's going on over there? Now you have, a candle lit to get a good look at it, and indeed, it's of a fine quality. You know it would sell for a good amount, but based on the way that Leander was pretty intent on giving it to you, you presume it's magical in some way. And soon enough, you find out this is no doubt an amulet of protection. A very useful little magic item. Cutting back to the bar, Olorin tells you, Erlon, he goes, well, I've had my fill for the night. I think I'm going to go check in with the others. Rest well, Erlon.
Be safe.
And he begins to march his way out, leaving you to a relatively, there's still a few patrons smoking and drinking away, but otherwise, a very quiet, relatively common room.
Mm-hmm.
Celian goes, you got your key?
Yes.
Alright. He's picking up the mugs, cleaning them away.
Good night, my friend. And I put my money on the table and go to my room.
Alright. So you guys, you all make it to your bedrooms, passing by Leander. You make it to your bedrooms, and the night goes by pretty quietly.
Oh, my room is so big.
Yeah, I know. You got the double bedroom?
I know me and Erlon ended up with some sweet.
A check both.
I presume Maley and Gilroy would want rooms next to each other. Like, Gilroy got a room, Maley would presumably take the one next to him.
Right. Fair enough.
It's hired to do that. Right. And you all drift off to a somewhat uneasy rest. Erlon, you find yourself once again drifting through this misty mountaintop area, kind of just floating along these ridges, and you find yourself once again at that plateau, this large ridge, where you see the ice giant you had noticed before completely frozen over by a many-foot thick sheet of ice, as well as 4 various ghost-like visages that seem to be talking amongst each other. One of them is particularly large. He's a human, and he's wearing furs and has a great hammer on his back. Another one is a rather slight-looking elf. He's wearing leathers and has 2 daggers on his belt. Another one is another elf. This one has the look of a monk or a monastery man. He's wearing robes and is otherwise unarmed. And finally, another human, a older-looking human woman with a wrinkled, deeply wrinkled face and long white hair. And they seem to be arguing over something, all just kind of grouped at the feet of this ice giant, but none of them really looking at it. All of them you see have the features that, in much more clarity than when you normally summon them up through your rage. You can see what their clothes look like and whatnot here, though the spectrum of colors is all the same, this misty white and gray. As they speak, a little bit of them drifts away, but it doesn't seem to cause their shape to change too much. And the large one, the very large one with the great hammer goes, I think he isn't ready at all. No warrior's discipline in this one, not at all. Did you see that fight in the arena? He nearly let himself go. And one of the elves, the more monasterily dressed one, the monk-looking one, puts his hands together for a moment and looks down. I think we must give him time. He is very young, especially for a half-elf. And the large one looks down at him real quick and goes, time! That's why they call you Volret the Patient. I remember stories of you watching the leaves change color all through the season, only meditating for a few hours a week. What madman does that? And the elf leans on in and goes, the elf that's wearing leathers with the daggers on his hip, he goes, no, I've not seen the cunning in him yet that one would expect from one of our ancestors anyway. I mean, look at the group of us here. We're about as well known as any heroes of the North. And finally, they kind of note your approach, though none of them seem to react in word, as you just kind of drift up along this plateau. And they look at you expectantly.
My heart starts to, like, race really quickly.
Yeah.
And so am I just floating to them automatically? Like,
Yeah, you don't have too
dream
much control
space?
over your movement in this dream space, yeah.
I try to compose myself
Sure, yep.
and just patiently wait till I arrive in front of them, I guess.
Yep, and you float on up, the mist kind of clearing, and you do see as a lot of the mist just pours off of this ice giant, like dry ice, and falls on the plateau, and then falls off like a large waterfall. And the rest around you is snowstorm-capped peaks and whatnot. But the weather, you don't feel any cold, you don't feel the snow hitting you or anything along those lines. You feel rather comfortable.
Okay.
And the one that has a wrinkled face, she walks up to you, gives you a kind of stroke along the beard real quick, and goes, my child, it's so good to finally see you.
Who are you?
My name is Malera the Kind. I'm an ancestor of yours from the human side of your family.
I kind of look down. Are my tattoos on my body in this dream?
Yes? Yeah.
Okay. Do I see her name at all?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Malera the Kind was a big founding part of the free roamers that you come from. She was particularly well known because she was a matriarch in a very patriarchal society. She rose to the top through being not just a warrior's prowess, which she definitely shows through very deep scars on her body from battles long, long in the past, but also from being a compassionate leader and making sure that her people are well fed and in good fighting shape and whatnot. And so that's what she's known for, is the more caring side of barbarian nature.
Gotcha.
And she goes, and these are your ancestors as well. Let me introduce them. I am Malera. And this, and she motions towards the monstrous human. The dude is like 6.5 feet tall, very broad, and that's Ualtar, the brave. This, and she motions towards the elf with the daggers in his belt loop, is Genra, the quick. And finally, she points towards the elf who is wearing robes, who otherwise is unarmed, Volret, the patient. It's very good to finally see you, child. We've been watching your progress. We were wondering when we would finally be able to speak with you.
I pretty much just fall to my knees, like, right away.
Yeah,
being like, I'm like a little overcome the fact that this is happening, and I like have my head against the ground, and I'm like, great ancestors. I do not know what to say.
Walter looks down at you and goes, stand up, boy!
Quickly get to my feet.
And Malera goes, putting her hand on Walter's chest, she goes, calm now. Give him a chance to have a feeling for this. And Genra the Quick goes, I have a feeling for this. I have a feeling he's not anything that we should put our faith into. And Volret once again goes, patience now, friends. And just leans back, very, very calm, this one. Malera, she turns towards you and goes, well, I think you still have quite a bit of work to do, my child, but I personally have faith in you. And you may call out to me in your times of need. The caring side of our people is in your heart. And someday you will prove that you are just as clever, patient, and as brave a warrior as your other ancestors.
And I just bow to her.
All right?
Thank you, Malara.
Of course. Of course. Now then, I do have a question for you. The other three are still bickering. Like, they've just been here doing this for, like, God knows how long. But, what do you see here? We are left on this plateau of ice. What is there to it for you?
Yeah. I wish to eventually prove myself and stand proud next to you once I am joined again with the earth and the water.
Continue those aspirations, my child. You will find your way there. I will help try and guide and protect you. And slowly, the vision begins to fade. Whiteness creeps in from around. And if you have anything left to say, that would be your moment, or do.
Thank you, my ancestors. I will make you proud indeed, and I shall continue to do the good work to make this world a better place, and to leave our mark upon it, and to respect all those that have come before and those after, and the pines and the mountains and the sea.
Walter, definitely the most talkative of the three as far as you've seen, looks down at you, puts himself on one knee, and goes, "We'll be watching closely. Till next time, Erlan." Sits on back, and yeah, suddenly you are just cast away from this plateau, and back through the mists, and then poof, into the darkness of a dreamless sleep. And you awaken in the morning, the three of you, to the rooster crows, and the sounds of folks making their way down the river. And I think that's where we're going to take a break.
Okay,
Sounds
cool.
good.
Also, we've reached level 4. So we're gonna
Yeah!
level up real quick. Woo!
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. We're going to take a quick break. I know it was such a great scene, and we just got a bunch of new people in the chat, but thank you to Crustnico, too, for subbing. We are a sub-enabled channel. If you feel if you're liking this content, it means a lot to us. And we'll see you guys in just like 5 minutes or so while we level up and have a quick stretch. We'll be back for the second half.
Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, those of you who watch a little bit later, throw us a like and subscribe to our channel, because it means a lot to us. It makes
It
all
really
the work
does.
worth it.
Yeah.
So
And
we'll be
see you
right
guys
back.
5.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.